Let's face it, Doctor Doom has been the Fantastic Four's deadliest enemy, and Marvel keeps dropping hints that he'll appear in the next Avengers movie. But this wouldn't be the first time Marvel surprised us with an unexpected villain. So sit back and relax as we talk about the possibility of Doctor Doom being the main villain of Secret Wars and his MCU debut. First off, wait, Doctor Doom's the Secret Wars villain? Marvel hinted at Victor Von, aka Doctor Doom, being the main villain of the latest Avengers installment. If you've kept up with the comics like us, then you probably already know that he's been a part of the comic verse for decades. Everyone's excited to see him in the MCU. Looks like Kang the Conqueror is going to be taking a backseat in Secret Wars, because if this movie's the ultimate battle, then Doom's going to be the ultimate bad guy. It's the end of phases 4, 5, and 6, so it has to be a banger. But Doom isn't just a threat to the Four, he's also an old-time Avengers enemy. So why is he showing up now? Well, you guessed it, because of the merger. Before Disney bought Fox, Kevin Feige didn't have the rights to Doctor Doom. That's why we didn't see this guy appear as a threat to Iron Man or Captain America. But he's definitely been in a couple of Fantastic Four movies, and apparently he's going to be very different from the comic book version. Up next, what's the comic book version of Doom like? Well, in the comics, he's the ruler of Latveria, right next to Sokovia. He's worked with Namor of Atlantis, and kept a cold relationship with the Black Panther of Wakanda. Comic book readers probably remember that there were a bunch of hints that Doom's going to be the main bad guy in Phase 6. All signs point to his arrival if we think about it, from the early introduction of Sokovia in Phase 2 to the fight between Namor and the new Black Panther in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Doctor Doom is almost definitely showing up, either at the end of Phase 4 in Wakanda Forever, Phase 5, or in Matt Shakeman's reboot of the Fantastic Four, followed by Fantastic Four's timing is perfect for Doom's return. Shakeman's new Fantastic Four, one of the only 4 MCU projects, has been announced so far for Phase 6. Deadpool 3, the Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars are the other 3. Doom's likely to show up in Fantastic Four since his origins kinda linked to what gave them their powers. Even if he doesn't show up in the MCU until Fantastic Four, it will set him up for a more prominent role in Secret Wars. Moving on to Kang Dynasty can't repeat Infinity War's shocking ending. At the end of Avengers Infinity War, Thanos beats the Avengers. That was probably one of the most shocking things in the MCU. As Marvel tries to repeat the success of Infinity War and Endgame, there's likely going to be another shocking cliffhanger ending between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. But if Kang beat the Avengers, it would be like Thanos blipping half of the universe in Infinity War. If we look at Doom's connection to the Secret Wars comic and his introduction in Fantastic Four, then the twist ending of the Kang Dynasty could be Victor Von Doom overthrowing Kang the Conqueror to become the ruler of the multiverse. Not to mention some other clues that Doom's behind Wakanda Forever's Namor attack. In the comics, Doom's relationship with T'Challa and Wakanda has always been tense. Their relationship's based on Doom's grudging respect for them. He's also joined forces with Namor more than once, but those alliances don't last long. But didn't T'Challa die in the MCU? The war between Atlantis and Wakanda in the movie could show Doom behind Namor's fight with Princess Shuri, Nakia, and Okoye, the leaders of Wakanda. This fits with how ambitious he is in the comics and how often he uses other people to get what he wants. Also, Black Panther number 27 from 1998 was a major influence on the movie. In that issue, Wakanda and Atlantis go to war, similar to the war between Wakanda and Talokan, Namor's kingdom. In the comic too, he weighs in and says Latveria should go to war. Even if Doom only has a small part in Ryan Coogler's Black Panther sequel as a cameo, the fact that he's close to Namor and has a grudge against T'Challa in the comics is an excellent reason for him to show up. Next, Zemo and Ultron foreshadowed Latveria's MCU debut. There are many fictional countries in the Marvel Comics universe, such as Madripoor, Wakanda, Latveria, and more. Only Latveria hasn't been in an MCU movie yet. However, Latveria's neighboring province, Sokovia, was introduced way back in Phase 2, when it was a big part of the evil AI Ultron's plan to destroy the Earth. So many Sokovian characters, like Baron Zemo, Wanda, and Pietro Maximoff, were introduced in a way that made it easy to add Latveria to the MCU. In the comics, it is in Eastern Europe, not far from Sokovia, and Doctor Doom, who rules it, is closely linked to it. Putting Sokovia into the story so early on wasn't a mistake. Maybe Kevin Feige was planning to bring Doctor Doom into the MCU one day when he made Avengers Age of Ultron. Coming up, Doctor Doom as the ultimate villain of the original comic. Of course, the fact that the multiverse saga is based on the Secret Wars comic clearly shows that Doom's gonna be the bad guy in the movie too. During 2015 Secret Wars, the 616 and Ultimate Universes famously collided. Of course, Doom took parts from each to rule over a new universe called Battleworld as God Emperor Doom. Even though Marvel usually doesn't stick to the comics, Doom's such a vital part of that story that it's very likely that he'll overthrow Kang and become the final bad guy in the MCU multiverse saga, just like Thanos was in the Infinity Saga. His existence has been hinted at in the MCU since Phase 2, so both the history of the comics and the need to change how Infinity War ended suggest that this movie is going to end with a battle against Battleworld's Victor Von. Moving on, we think Doom could make his MCU MCU debut much sooner than we think. If you look at how Ironheart's about to show up soon, that's a big sign that we might get this bad guy sooner than expected. Marvel likes to base their magic on quantum mechanics and string theory facts. That's not exactly 100% scientific, but who cares? That's how we got a fun scene in No Way Home where Spider-Man used geometry to trap Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension. It looks like this theme's gonna continue in the new Disney Plus show. At D23 2022, Marvel announced that the show would be about a young scientist named Riri Williams and a bad guy named the Hood. It's an unusual battle, and it's gonna focus on the fight between science and magic. Riri will probably have to figure out how magic works in the MCU if she wants to beat the Hood. This could be an excellent introduction into how magic works in the shared universe. The Ironheart footage shown at D23 shows that Ramos will be a mentor to Williams at first, but he'll turn sour in a story similar to what Tony Stark went through with Obadiah Stane. The show's themes means that Marvel's building up to the introduction of Doom. Why? Well, no one combines science and magic as Doom does. He's one of the best scientists in the world and only second to Mr. Fantastic. He's also good enough at magic to compete with Strange. Finally, will Dr. Doom finally show up in Ironheart? So, does all this evidence point to us seeing him in Ironheart? Well, we can't say at this stage. Everyone's convinced that he'll show up in Wakanda Forever when that comes out, probably in the after credits. That could set him up for his cameo in Ironheart, but he probably wouldn't be a big bad guy yet. He'd be better off being saved for the next Fantastic Four movie. That could be a big part of the end of the multiverse saga. Currently, all the focus is on Kang the Conqueror as the main villain of this overall story, but we can't deny that Secret Wars is based on an epic comic book event where Doctor Doom was the main villain. There could be some surprises left still. Suppose he's in the MCU as both a scientist and a sorcerer. That means he didn't learn from the Sorcerer Supreme at Kamar Taj. Everyone now knows about the Masters of the Mystic Arts, and a genius like Doom, he could probably figure out the rules of magic on his own. Of course, the comics showed us other places to learn about magic secrets, such as the Lost Library of Cagliostro. In the comics, his teacher was the wizard Cagliostro, so he may learn his magical skills from that library instead of Kamar Taj. Then he could combine science and magic, which would complete the story arc from Ironheart. And that's all for this video. What do you think about Doctor Doom being the big bad in the upcoming Secret Wars? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.